130 years ago, the world was in a state of war and chaos, and countries were little more than hellscapes of suffering and endless conflicts, as other dimensions and worlds introduced themselves to humans. Eventually, though, 3 great people rose up and brought an end to the chaos. One of those people was the Great Harriet, my great-great-grandfather, Budo Natsuto. However, war would catch back up, and 3 greats would find themselves in conflict with one another. The world would end up splitting into 2 kingdoms, known as the Kobai Kingdom and the Loumi Kingdom, both each controlling approximately 47% of the world. The other 5% is controlled by the Great Republic, and there's about 1% of the world that are filled with rogues and criminals, but we can forget about that. I, King Harriet Natsuto, am the ruler of the Kobai Kingdom, and it is by the duty of the High Seat, the mediator of the 2 kingdoms, to continue our prosperity with a best-suited queen raised by the High Seat. However, things have gone very far from what was planned. Yeah. 12 members of the High Council. I am speaking to all of you on account of some important business. You see, the High Seat, they've done something pretty interesting, something that is completely unprecedented for the 130 years that we have existed. Something completely absurd, okay? I realize I said 130 years of this, more of 130 years of kind of this high arrangement of the High Seat. Never in 130 years have they done anything this absurd. Now you may be asking what exactly it is that I'm talking about. I'm a bit outraged, as you can see here. Well, take a look. You've got all of your holo tablets with you. Everybody, I want you all to observe what we are talking about, because I've got quite the plan. Quite the plan that my grandfather would have never constructed. Not in, I don't know, a million years, probably. They would want to sustain peace as long as possible, but things are going in the wrong direction, and it's becoming too much to handle, okay? Just give me a moment.
What is this even about, please?
What is this about? What is this about? That's a good question, isn't it? Well, look, I know you're all the highest officials in this great kingdom, and you're all the most, I guess, up to date is one way to put it. And trust me, nobody in this entire kingdom knew about this until, I guess, this morning, or whatever time it was. Look, I don't know how to say this, really, but essentially, the High Seat has granted the wife, the official waifu title, in fact, they've granted it, not to us, but to the other kingdom. That's right. That clown Miyuki, yeah, he gets it, okay? And you know who he gets? Everybody, take a look here. We have this, I don't really, is it a stock image? I'm not sure. We have this here on screen. There she is, Chiaki Nanami, the official waifu, being given to the other kingdom. The other kingdom, not us. No, I was in line for it first, and yet we don't get it. That's not ours, okay? Miyuki, I mean, he was supposed to have somebody else. I think they had someone named, like, Kaguya lined up for him or something. And apparently the High Seat has been neglecting to answer the phone, I guess. So they've been refusing our calls. Isn't that just fantastic? Okay? And so, for whatever reason, I guess they're just, leaving me in the dirt? Okay? It's been, 3 generations of this arrangement, okay, between kings, and yet I'm awarded nothing. Okay, I've been waiting 18 years for this. I mean, I'm 21. Okay, I've been waiting since I've developed self-concept for this for this moment, and yet they strip it from me. They take it from my cold, dead fingers, okay? Well, their mistake was that I wasn't dead enough, apparently. So, this is what we're going to do. We are going to go, and we're going to take the other kingdom, and we are going to shove this little deal of theirs right up their anus. And I have just the overview. Are we all prepared? Because we're not voting on this, just so you know. This is an authoritarian decision. Normally we have like more of an oligarchy that works here. I mean, there are 12 of you all lined up in a circle, plus my assistant here. However, I'm just going to tell you, this isn't really your decision. If you have any objections to going to war with the other kingdom over this, then speak now, and I'll have one of the boys over there probably promptly execute you. Any questions? And anyone? Any objections? Cool. That's about what I thought. Okay. Now, let's begin. So if we're going to want a little military overview, here is the idea. We want to eliminate the enemy power structure as quickly as possible, okay? We don't need to completely annihilate them, alright? As much as I kind of am tempted to do that. What we need to do is we need to take Chiaki off of their hands, and when we do, we bring her here and we negotiate, okay? After all, she's the prime bargaining chip. One thing I know you, Samugi, you like your bargaining chips, and so, I don't really need to ask you what you think about this. It's pretty obvious. So, now that we've gone through that whole little basic idea, think of it this way. We're going to cleave the head off the lion. We're going to kill lieutenants. We're going to kill, not the king himself. Okay, that would probably cause too much chaos. But, I don't know, anybody he can potentially have to replace him. Okay, I mean, I know he doesn't have children yet, hence why he's getting the waifu in the first place. You know, it gets into the whole system. He's my age, right? But I do know that there are probably some people who would take his place. You know, like, for example, Itsuki here, I would gladly give her my position if I were to be on my deathbed. Now, I'm not, so, you know. But still, and I know that there are some people who are higher rank here, but I'm not giving it to you, okay? I mean, I don't know. Her sisters are all great. I like you guys, but like, you know, she's my personal assistant for a reason, and you're on the council, and so, yeah. Anyways, so, the lieutenants, right. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Starting with number 1, we have, Mai Sakurajima. Is that how you say her name? She's a vital lieutenant for little Miyuki. She's got control over most of the Navy. However, she's also got quite a lot of Air Force. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Next up, we've got Saratoga, who is arguably the most dangerous of his lieutenants. Yeah, she kind of runs the whole Secret Service and sort of Praetorian Guard for him. We're going to want to eliminate her if we ever want to get to Chiaki. Next up, we have Yuka. Is that her name? Why is she in her pajamas? We really couldn't find a better image of this, fellas. We got her in her pajamas. Okay, this is simulative and whatever. Anyways, lastly, up on the list, we've got the Hex Maniac, is simply what she's known as. I'm not really sure what her name is. In fact, nothing is really known about her besides that she's one of his lieutenants and what she looks like. That's pretty much it. She has nice eyes. Anyways, now that we've gone through the lieutenants, here's the big deal.
I'm not going against it, but won't starting a war with the other kingdom result in the insurgency growing in strength?
Yes, you would be right in that regard. Yes, indeed. Look, the insurgency, we're going to have to deal with them at a later time, okay? And it's true, they will be growing in strength if we declare war on the other kingdom, okay? I mean, they're going to be able to pop up, crime is going to be rampant across much of the undisputed land, I guess you could call it. But one thing is for sure, we can turn the insurgency from an enemy into an asset. And that's assuming that this war even last long enough to be considered a war, right? I mean, it probably will be anyways, but we don't need a dragged-out Afghanistan conflict here, fellas. You know what we do need, though? A quick, decisive victory. And it is for that reason that the insurgency, they're probably not going to be that big of a deal, if I'm being honest. However, if this does get dragged out, yeah, they're going to be a big problem. As for the Great Republic, well, let's just hope they don't get involved. They're kind of annoying to deal with, honestly. Not to mention, they don't obey the High Seat, which means if the High Seat decides on something, the Great Republic can kind of just flip them the middle finger, and you know how it works. Anyways, here's our setting. Here's what we're going for here. Chiaki Nanami is supposedly on a train being transported to the capital of the kingdom. What we need to do is board the train with some of our best special forces, eliminate those on board without raising any major alarms, cut through the train, make it to Chiaki, capture her, extract her from the train, via air support, of course, and then return her here to my ship. Of course, the ship will be in low orbit instead of, you know, in space right now, because obviously, but after that, we'll bring her on board, and I don't think we probably don't need to put her in the prison block. That's not really necessary. She's also not heavily dangerous, or you know, it's not like fighting. Well, I don't know. None of you can really fight. I kind of had to think about it for a second. Actually, no, Marie can. Marie can fight. Yeah, it's not like fighting Marie or something where you're gonna get torn to pieces. Okay, she'll be fine. We could probably just stick her on the bridge or something. And as for retaliation, we'll just negotiate with the High Seat, come to a couple conclusions, maybe kill a few lieutenants to convince the other kingdom to back down, and we'll be sitting pretty. As for future retaliations, we'll worry about that ahead of time. That's why we gotta strengthen the military and focus our forces. You can handle that, can't you? That's what I like to hear. I'm glad to hear it, General. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys all agree. I know you're not very talkative today because I've kind of taken the seat here, pun intended. But I'm going to be leading this assault myself. Okay? Obviously, none of you are coming with me because that would be a horrible idea. But I want all of your personal guards prepared, and you are all going to be shipped out to different cities in different sectors. That way you can oversee operations personally. If you refuse this and decide to be a coward, then I will have you promptly executed. Pretty simple. Glad everybody understands. Glad we're all on board. And sorry if I'm a little bit agitated today. You can understand this is like my whole life crashing down and crumbling into pieces and that kind of thing. I need some air. You guys have fun. Meeting over, disbanded, council, whatever. You guys make sure they don't follow me. This is kind of awkward. So this is the Loumi Kingdom's Great Train, huh? Alright, boys. Yeah, that's a long way down. Look, so, you know the idea. Chopper's gonna show up here, or whatever the equivalent will be. Pick us up quickly. You've all got jump packs, so you're gonna need to be careful. And, we already got some boys down there ready to rock and roll. 4 of them, I believe, so there's 6 of us in total. You two remain here, and try not to get hit by a sign or something, alright? We're gonna do this quick and quiet. Alright, I've got this. I've also got throwing knives, but I think I'll stick with the gun. Alright, you guys already took them out. Good work. Don't draw attention. Alright, got him. These guys deaf or something? I guess they do have headphones on, but you'd think they'd be able to hear a little bit better. More tangos up ahead. Alright, I'll just take them out quickly. Alright, they're done. Alright, another guy right here. That was nice. Alright, cool. Yeah, this thing, this sword really is as strong as they say it is. By the way, I have some armor on now, so that gives me a significant advantage from usual. I've got state-of-the-art shielding, state-of-the-art armor. You know, it's got sort of this special alloy I'm not going to bother explaining. Alright. We got more tangos up ahead. Let's see. I don't see anyone around the corner. Let me check. See. Oh, crap! Jesus! Oh, okay, we're detected. Guys, get over here now! Alright, move it. We've been detected. Jesus! Sound off! Open fire, you idiots! There we go. Jeez. Alright, move it. Let's go. All troopers, respond. Report on me. We're gonna push up, find Chiaki, and get off this train. Alright. Move up. I'll take point. Enemy. Okay, we got more up ahead. Be prepared. We gotta get to the end of this train. Got a lot of different weapons, so we got some options. Alright. Watch the area with the ladders. Jesus, more moving through. I see some. Jesus! What the heck was that? What do you mean the train's destabilized? What just happened? Whoa. Okay. I don't know what's going on. They just detonated something on the train. We gotta get off the train. Let me find an exit point. Alright. Jeez, out of my way. Alright, any more enemies? Okay, we gotta go. Alright, move up here. Jeez. What the heck's going on? Go!